There was more unrest in Turkey this week, with protesters gathering in Istanbul to denounce Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan's crackdown on demonstrations of public discontent and the excessive use of force by police during the June protests against the development of the city's Gezi Park. But while the action did draw global criticism, the EU pressed on with Turkey's process of membership to the bloc of European nations. There was some hesitation among member states like Germany and Austria, who managed to delay the opening of a new chapter in negotiations until after an official review of Turkey's progress in the fall. And it was this hiccup that led many to question whether EU-Turkey relations had been severely hurt by the recent unrest. Ever since Turkey began accession negotiations with the EU in 2005, progress has been slow. Out of 35 chapters or steps in the process, one has been settled, 13 others opened, and 8 of those frozen due to tension with Cyprus, an EU member with serious objections to Turkey's occupation of the Mediterranean island they share. But it wasn't until protests that broke out in June over plans to redevelop a city park were met with fierce police retaliation and government backlash that Turkey's EU membership was thought to be in jeopardy.
Well, I think it's important to bear in mind that there are aspects of the accession process which will inherently slow down, and there are aspects which will go much faster. In the recent 5 years, you've had improvements and you've had, slowdowns and bumps. The problem is over the last maybe the last 5 days, there was a serious threat that it was actually going to come to a halt. So there's a Chapter 22 which potentially could have really kind of broken the whole process. And that's a bit worse than what we're normally used to.
Especially after Turkey and Brussels then engaged in a war of words, with some EU countries objecting to Turkey's protester crackdown as undemocratic, though many insist the accession process itself will help bring about reform.
While we have been disturbed by the reaction to the recent peaceful protests in Turkey, I believe that the EU accession process is the most effective tool we have in advancing the reform agenda in Turkey.
Which is exactly why Brussels is pressing ahead with a new round of accession talks in the fall, despite the likelihood of further reservations to come.
Germany and France are the 2 largest member states. Today, Turkey will be the 2nd largest. In 5 to 10 years' time, would be the 1st largest member state. So it would basically affect the balance of power, if you will, that has been around since the very beginning of the first EU treaty in 1950.
Most agree that Turkey's accession path will continue to be a long and complicated one, but that as long as the process continues, relations and democratic reforms can only improve. What may prove the biggest threat to Turkish entry to the EU, though, is member states like Cyprus or even Germany and others putting up political obstacles. Though for now, with Europe in crisis, all sides appear to still want and need each other. Sandra Gottman for JN1 in Brussels.